Hey guys, welcome back to the latest episode of the Growing a Dental Practice podcast. I am your host, Mike Hennon. Today is a great episode because I'm joined by the team from Dental Open Days. These guys are two close friends of mine within the dental community. So Claire Frisby and Thomas Lee. They both have separate things, so they're both very busy, prominent individuals, but they've come together to form Dental Open Days, and it's a very exciting venture. So without further ado, welcome guys, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you.
Hi.
Claire, I've just realised you're my first returning guest.
Ah, there you go.
Yes. So if you listen to this, yeah, you're gonna be back on again, and I expect Thomas to be on as well. So those that have been listening, you might remember Claire from a previous episode all about how to answer the phone call within a practice. That was a very excellent episode with Claire and Rabir from Practice Success. So like I said, Claire's got many fingers in many pies.
I have.
Which is cool. But so yeah, brilliant. And Thomas, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for asking. I'm good. And this is my first ever involvement in the podcast. So really excited. Yeah, I haven't done this before. And I thought, if I want to pop my podcast cherry, I'll do it with Mike.
Excellent. Do you know why it's taking you so long, Thomas? Because you've been trying to find the perfect mic.
Why? Oh God! Just you know what?
Oh, no, that wasn't a pun, but it definitely should be.
The perfect mic and the microphone.
It was the perfect.
Claire,
pun.
You're on it. Claire, I don't know why I did this either, but we'll do that.
That was an awesome pun. Yeah, I was waiting for the perfect. Really waiting for the perfect Mike Hennon, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Hennon, the perfect Mike.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers, Thomas. Hey guys, I'm gonna let you both introduce yourselves. So let us know what you do individually, and then we'll talk about Dental Open Days as a thing. So Claire, would you like to go first?
Yeah. So I was a dental nurse in practice for 30 years. So had loads of experience with open days and events. We used to run CPD events, live surgeries, open days, and amongst other things, I can give a lot of what can I have my words on? You're going to edit this anyway, aren't you? I lost my thoughts. It's gone.
Oh,
Claire, do you want to start again? Yeah. So I'll just say, Claire, let's. Blah, blah, blah. So guys, tell me. So I'm going to state, Claire, tell me about yourself, and then just go into it, and I'll cut that out. But just tell me what you're involved in generally, and then we can go.
Yeah.
And then we'll say why did you set? When we talk about why did you start Dental Open Days?
Yeah, bring that in that then.
Then do that. But so just tell me about the DNA or that sort of thing, the broader high level stuff. That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, so I was in dental practice for 30 odd years, practice manager, treatment coordinator, general dental nurse, all of the different roles. And basically I now work remotely, and I'm now known as the remote dental nurse. And I work and collaborate with several different individuals, dental businesses, coaches, and practices.
Excellent. Perfect. Thanks, Claire. And you're involved in quite a lot, which is great.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And Thomas, tell us about yourself.
I started my marketing agency, Citrin Digital Marketing, and I established that in 2019. So what we do at the agency is we specialize in online marketing, whether it's running pay-per-click marketing campaigns through Google and running video and image ads on Instagram and Facebook. And we've been doing it since 2019. But I chose the dental sector simply because I felt it was actually stumbled upon us by accident. It was a friend of mine, and I was before I set up my agency, I was a freelancer doing website designs and printing marketing, and just a friend of mine who took over a practice nearby. He just asked me for some help, and ever since then, I just felt like the sort of, I think with dentists, there's just something different about them. It was something really, really approachable, really likable, and I just felt like my, when I was speaking to, future clients and all, it just something aligns, and it just it works well beautifully. And ever since then, I just felt like, yes, I can be buried under a lot of work and all, but it's not like intensive stress or any unhappy moments. It's just purely like, you know what, I enjoy working with dentists, and I really, really love seeing their results and just seeing them grow.
Excellent, Thomas. Because we've got quite a few similarities, haven't we? We both started in the same year. We've just lost Claire, but we'll power on. We both started in the same year, and we both, we now work with dentists. So, that was one of the reasons we connected the first time, wasn't it? It was like, hey, dude, you're doing the same thing or similar things.
Yeah, that's right. Because when I think I reached out to you first because I noticed our similarities, and I just felt like, do you know what, Mike, how would you like to join me on a Clubhouse broadcast? And the Clubhouse
That's
was
nearly a year
immense.
ago now, isn't it?
It was, and yeah, I would say we've grown particularly strong since then. And I think Clubhouse was great, for during the lockdowns, because it's just something some people wanted. Just I think it was a good way to broaden your awareness, and a lot of people were just tuning in, listening to. Well, I'll say just listen to anyone that would recommend us, and it was great. It was a great experience. I love it now.
Right, Claire's back.
Oh my God! Sorry. What about timing?
It's fine. I can edit out. It's absolutely fine. So Thomas has just stopped talking about. Has just given us his overview of Citron. So I'm now just going to carry on into what is dental open days and why did you start it? Perfect. You good, Claire?
You good, Claire? I would love for Claire to answer first, and I'll just back you up, Claire.
Well, it was Thomas's.
Wait, sorry. I actually haven't asked the question technically.
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm trying to get this.
Right.
Sorry,
I'm just making sure you're okay. Are you happy to continue, or do you want to try it?
I can't get you full screen on my phone.
Oh, to be honest, this camera looks so good. The one you're using right now, it looks really good.
Does it look better?
It looks really good.
I can hardly hear you. That's the thing.
That's why Mr. Hennon said wear headphones.
Yeah, but that wasn't. I tried that as well. It didn't work.
Claire tried it. Claire tried it. Can you hear us at all? Or
yes, but it's very quiet, and I sound like I'm shouting.
Okay.
Go on, then.
Or should I go? Should I answer the questions first, and then if Claire can back me up, that way she'll know what we're talking about. Okay, we'll do that then. Okay.
Perfect.
You, Mike, fire away, Mike.
Brilliant. So we have a marketer and a remote dental nurse. So what the hell are you doing together? And what is Dental Open Days?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, Mike. I would say Dental Open Days is a joint venture with myself and Claire. I think what happened was I had a client that was interested in Claire's services, and I connected them to work together with me as well. I was handling the marketing, and Claire was handling the social media management. And then just working, with Claire at that time, I just felt like, you know what, us together could be a force to be reckoned with. And we chose Open Days simply because we noticed that the results can be pretty exploding, and we had the skill sets to increase the success rates, and we just felt like, you know what, I have a client that is interested. We actually we had a mutual friend. We had a mutual friend that was interested in hosting their first open day, and I said, do you know what, I would love for myself and Claire to come on to this project together. And our first collaboration, we got 31 bookings, 28 attended, and I think a 70% conversion rate. And yeah, so, and some bookings came on another day because they couldn't make the date. So to us, that was our first taste of working together on a open day. And then it was, ever since then, it was just like, do you know what? I think me and Claire, we should keep, we can do this on a regular basis.
Love that, Thomas. Claire, how about you from your side? So obviously I believe you had some experience of sort of hosting and organising sort of dental open days in the past. What kind of made you sort of want to go down the route with Thomas?
Well, again, it was what Thomas was just saying. We realised that between us, the knowledge we had would help the practices. So the marketing's good on its own, and Thomas is obviously brilliant at that side of things. I was already doing the social media, as he's just said. So what we did is, where I do mentoring already for dental practices, we've more or less put that in to the dental practice or the team member. It could be the principal or the TCO or the practice manager. And I literally help them step by step through the day and the flow of the day. And together, Thomas and I have put together, and it's gone on as the years gone on. We've changed and developed. You get different practices, and it just really works, and it's benefited the practice, and that's what it's all about: is giving something back and support. The knowledge that's there between us is just, I don't think you can beat it.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a fantastic package and a fantastic offering because I think, like you say, Claire, you get the marketing dialed down, but if you don't know how to manage an open day, or you've never done one before, you could get everyone into the practice and then just it could go all messy, or you could be the best person at hosting an open day, but if you can't get people in the chair, again, your efforts are wasted. So I think that package is nice, and also something that we've learned from about dentists is they quite like to go to fewer people if they can, or one place if they can, to get the service they need. And obviously I love the fact that it's called dental open days, like very on the nose. There's no guessing, no need to guess what you do. It says exactly what you do on the tin, so that's fantastic. But I do realize that I've just glossed over the fact that not everyone listening will actually know what an open day is.
Yeah.
So can I get one of you to explain in essence what an open day is, and I guess why you might consider one?
Okay. I would say an open day is categorized as an event, and because some practices, when they market their cosmetic treatments, they launch a continuous campaign. So it's just putting it out there that we do this treatment, we're doing it for this offer, or we have this availability. However, when you condense all of that information and you put it into an event, there's more urgency now, simply because there's a strict date that they must attend to take up on this exclusive open day offer. So there's urgency, there's excitement, and open days, I believe it's more talked about when you're involved in conversation. Whereas when you just see an ad for a dental treatment, you kind of put it back on the back of your mind. However, when they see an event and they think, oh my gosh, I can only go on this day or that day, there's more urgency, and it's something that I see often where commenters tag their friends and family. So I see that more often when it comes to open days marketing. But here's the thing: it's as I mentioned before, it's explosive. So whereas in a 3-month continuous campaign, you can get, let's say, I don't know, a good month would be over 20 cases. With an open day event, you're looking at easily 30 plus cases. So that's why we mean it's explosive, and it's actually given a better experience as well for them, making it that little extra special when they do attend.
Excellent. And Claire, what does a dental open day look like from a practice perspective?
So when you're actually doing the open day yourself in practice, it's a way of us showing the patients who we are as the personal, because we're not running around being busy, hardly get time to talk to them. With an open day, it's more relaxed. So a patient who might think, oh, I wonder what that dentist is like, has the opportunity to just come in and have a wander around. Obviously, if there's no restrictions or anything, but as it's all opened up now, people are holding them all the time. I think it's getting busier and busier, but it's an opportunity to meet the team without the pressure. And it's an enjoyable day for the team and the patients. It's not, sometimes they might have a glass of prosecco when they come in, or or a cup of tea, whatever. But it's a more relaxed for that patient who's that bit nervous. And no one likes coming in the dentist, really. So it's an open day. So it makes it fun.
Brilliant, love that. So that's kind of what an open day is. Are there any opportunities or specific times that a practice might do an open day? And sort of, that kind of situation. So I'll leave that to you.
I would say if a great example would be if you've just taken over a practice, or you set up a new squat practice and you want to get your name out there. There's nothing, I keep using the word explosive, but that is what it is. It's you're really just making a big splash right now by setting up an event, and here's the thing: the event could be themed around the grand opening, or it could be introducing new treatment packages. So that's what it is. What you're actually doing is you're essentially almost killing two birds with one stone here. You're trying to get your name out there, but you're also doing it via urgency, because it's an event, building up excitement, trying to be the talk of the town. And it also is a great opportunity to sort of collaborate with, let's say you're in the high street, your neighboring stores, businesses that would love to support or get involved with the open day. So that to me is very advantageous.
Perfect. So it's a great way for you to either launch your new practice, or kind of, I guess, or maybe help with like a rebranding, or just like change of ownership kind of thing.
Yeah, sometimes you might have a new service that you offer, or you might have a new dentist or someone you want to introduce, and it's a great way of getting patients in and filling up the patient list for the new dentist or the new service. So it's not just, we've worked out that our strategies that we've put together over the last year work with most events. So it could be, implants, facial aesthetics. It could be a CPD evening. The process is the same.
Excellent. So you touched on like sort of treatments. Are there particular treatments that are better suited to an open day?
I would say the most popular ones, I would say the three most popular ones are Invisalign open day, because Invisalign is just they're investing heavily into their marketing, and it's nice you're able to leverage their popularity right now. So Invisalign open days is very appealing, especially to let's say the younger generation or audiences. And then you've got like dental implants open days and open evenings. I think that one's very suited towards the mature crowd. And then another popular one is like facial aesthetics. So this is great. It's just really broadening your treatment offers. And as you can imagine, if you're able to arrange these type of events on, let's say, a quarterly basis, you really are creating a buzz for your practice. And I said, ideally, you would love for your patients to sing your praises and really just it's really just increase your brand awareness, I would say.
So I guess it sounds
carrying on from that, going on the packages, but also each practice, it's different areas, so different areas have different focuses. We help to find out what's happening in the area. One size doesn't fit all. I could have a strategy of this is what an open day should look like, but the practice might not be set out like that, so it doesn't work for them. So we personally, the two of us, sit down with the people, the practice owner or whoever it is, and work out how it works within their practice and their area. If they're a little village in the middle of nowhere, Thomas has to think about the area that he's targeting with the marketing ads. So this is why you need to be able to sit and talk with us to tell us how it will work. And I think some of the ads campaigns and things like that, from what we've had to adjust sometimes, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right.
And we can do that because we're working on it ourselves. Whereas a lot of marketing, they put the ads up or someone else is doing it for them, one of the team. But this is our responsibility. We're accountable for this. So giving that personal touch with the two of us from both angles really, really works.
Yeah, I would say, sorry, just to add on what Claire said, I think that's probably what makes us stand out, really. I think it's just we dive real deep. It's so easy to copy and paste or reuse a template, but however, like I said, you could create you can tick all the right boxes when it comes to marketing, but if the audiences aren't responding to it, or you just targeted the wrong type of audiences, you're flushing money down the toilet. So what we do is we go real deep and really extensive planning and research way before we even launch any campaigns.
It sounds like you can actually sort of make kind of changes to the marketing and advertising kind of in real time based on what you're seeing kind of inside the practice. Whereas I guess a lot of open days might be marketed by a company and you wouldn't actually know how effective it was until the day of the open day. Like you've kind of, like you say, you could be flushing money down the toilet.
Yeah, I would say I am aware that there are marketers or marketing agencies that they do all the setup in the beginning and then they put it on autopilot and then it's just a hit and hope kind of thing. Whereas I like to keep an eye on these things, because the moment I sense something isn't working, I immediately optimize it. However, if the moment I notice something's working, I double down. So, but I think the clients love this because they feel really involved. They just feel like, oh, I'm not just handing over powers to us and then letting us just do anything we want. We actually inform our clients before we make any big adjustments, and they feel very involved. And when they add their suggestions, because we don't know everything, we just know what we know through our own expertise. But however, when a client says, oh, is there any way you could add this, because from our experience with our patients, they seem to respond better to this, and we love it because this means that we are still learning, and just makes it really applicable when we grow ourselves. And I really enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah, you can tell from both of your faces that you enjoy doing this, which is great.
It's the connection with the practices. It's the connection as well. It's not just, I'm not in surgery anymore, but I'm still very involved in so many practices. It's just, it's great.
Good. I love that. Would you say an open day is better with attracting new patients or getting existing patients to spend more?
That's a really good question, Mike. How?
Or a bit of both.
I'm just talking from our experiences, and I would say that it's when you do open days, and in particular, I'll use Invisalign as an example. I think you attract a lot of new patients simply because it's a great offer. Now, here's the thing: a lot of them can come just for the offer, and it's down to the practice to really make it such an experience that they turn their attendants into long-term patients. So I would love to say, yeah, it brings in new patients, but I would say that, to be honest, if you want more long-term patients, there's a lot of even at post-event, support and approach. It's a lot of work still. So, however, it also gives existing patients, like I said, it's just like they are already warm and aware of your brand, and if it's something they need, or they know someone that'll be interested, that's going to be great as well. So I would say, in a nutshell, Mike, both. Why not?
Bit of both. Yeah, excellent. Claire, anything to add on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you get both. I think you get a mixture. You might have those patients who've been coming in for years and been seeing the Invisalign or whatever treatment poster up on the wall, on the TV or wherever. And as soon as you get an offer, it might be the thing to persuade them. People have it in their heads, and you think, I'm going to do that one day. And then they've got an open day. You think, right, I'm going to do it. That was the time. Whereas they might not have done that if you don't hold the open day. Doesn't work like that. But again, you've got to target all these different people who've got all different ideas, age groups, areas, everything. So there is a lot to think about. You can't just open your doors and see who comes in. It doesn't work like that.
I think it's great, Claire, that some practices have a number of inactive patients, and these open days it just helps get them back into the practice. And
I'd imagine they're quite good at like reactivating a patient.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's interesting, that's new. Or like you say, Claire, they've probably been thinking about it for a while, but it's only like this urgency or sense of urgency that is kind of like sparked them into action. So yeah, that's fantastic.
And some people just want to go into the practice and have a nose round. So they might even just come in for the free consultation or whatever's offering, but they might not come in and have treatment necessarily then. But in my experience, they will come back at some point, whether they've got toothache, whether they've decided on a treatment, and that can work as well.
I'd like to give an example, just to align with what Claire just said. It's like I have a dentist there. I've just been with for so long, and got a great friendship, and here's the thing, it's quite a travel because I've moved since then. However, there's my local dentists. They have these events as well, and sometimes you want to go in because you want to check them out.
Yes.
And like I said, if I don't want to go, I didn't want to go in as a marketer. I just wanted to go in because I was just nosy.
This is it.
To be honest, it's an opportunity to win over a lot of potentially new patients when they are in a situation like that.
There's one more thing to add to that, actually. We were in where the last practice I was in had been there for, I don't know, 80 years or whatever, and then they'd opened a bit round the back, which is a separate section, and patients didn't know it was there. They'd walk past, still hadn't, like, I think you walk around sometimes, you don't see things anymore. So having an open day, you go past on the bus, you don't take any notice of it anymore. This triggers that awareness again. Hello, we're here. Even for, like I said, if they've got an emergency or a family member or something like that, it might not be the typical patient that you want, but it's still awareness.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm thinking it's probably a great way to like increase sales of a particular treatment, but also you can't really measure the brand awareness or the sales that are like 30, 60, 90 a year down the line because of that impact. You can't. So the value of an open day is probably it's probably bigger than what you can actually measure. Would you say, Tom?
I would say that. I think for those who I think there are some practices that haven't done an open day only because they just don't know the ins and outs of how to do one, and that's why I think myself and Claire wanted to fill that gap where we will say, look, we not only are utilizing our expertise and skill sets, but we're going to hold your hand through all the way through. You're not going to be alone in this.
Literally do.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. They feel like okay, this is business or whatnot, but at the same time, we're giving them that sort of experience and feeling that we want them to do the same for their patients. So it's a beautiful circle to be in, and so hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah. As I said to you, Claire. So Claire, what actually goes into sort of planning an open day? If you just give me the high level, don't give away all your tips and tricks. Not too many anyway. But what goes into it from start to kind of the day itself?
So we normally like about 8 weeks, roughly, just to get a feel for the practice, what the marketing would be and things like that. But other things to consider are your staffing levels, how the flow of the day will be, what is your aim, what is it for? A bit going on that question that you said earlier. Is it because you want to increase sales? Is it because you want new patients? Is it just because you want to show, hey, we've rebranded and we're here? Or you need to think about all these things, and there's different ways of approaching this. So we literally go in, we've got set questions that we ask in the beginning, and we come back and have another meeting saying this is what we think will work. And as I say, I know I said it, I keep saying it, but one size doesn't fit all. So it depends on the event. And we will plan from timings of how things can work within the practice, what they should be offering, what offline marketing should be, everything. So there is a tick list we've got that we provide and we go through with the clients.
Excellent. Yeah, that's right. And if I can just sum it up, we have like a 5-step or 5 stages of the actual from planning to launch day. So there's a 5-step. If I were to create a map for it, the first stage is the planning and strategy. So we like to encourage our clients and any staff members that they would like to join us in a group discussion and discuss planning, tactics, looking at their goals. We actually try to get a feel for their practice, what they're comfortable with doing. So a lot of it goes into the planning and research at step 1, but also research. So when we're not communicating, myself and Claire are doing extensive research. We research the local communities, get a feel for what type of audience we should approach or make it appealable to them. Then we look at competitors as well. We want to see what the competitors do and see what edge that we can provide. So once we have that information and given the thumbs up, stage 2 would be the preliminary preparations. Now this is where we start designing the ads, start building the landing page, a lot of back end work. So that's stage 2. That's usually taken about, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks. But usually when everything is perfect, we like to give 4 to 5 weeks to actually launch the marketing campaigns, let it go live. Now we favor both Google and Facebook and Instagram when it comes to marketing, and they go hand in hand. I wouldn't recommend doing one or the other. If you got a good strategy would be to have both of them running simultaneously, because they appeal to different audiences, different responses. But at the end of the day, you want them to book that consultation in. And during the marketing campaigns, myself and Claire, we always keep a careful eye on the responses, the engagements, and we try to schedule in progress meetings. So we like to keep our clients updated, tell them the strengths and weaknesses of the campaigns, and then at the end of the discussion, we want to see what steps can we do to further optimize the performances, or with their permission, can we double down on some of the winners? and then hopefully on the event day, and because we're still working even on the event day, myself and Claire, we're on standby. We really literally are standby even on the event day. And some of these events are over across 2 days, and you still have that on-hand support from myself and Claire, and that's our 5 steps really.
Brilliant, that's fantastic, and that's a really that obviously nicely covers of like how you market the open day as well. So thanks for that, Thomas.
Yeah,
Claire.
I think sorry.
So I was gonna say, Claire, so you're just a few tips now, not everything, but what are some of your tips on hosting an open day that goes smoothly in your experience?
You need to plan who is doing what on the day. So I would work out with the practice manager, whoever, who would be best suited to do what. And again, I keep saying it's all about the flow of the day, and make it fun. It's got to be fun, so the team enjoy it, so the patients enjoy it. But I think it's to do the homework. It's to do the homework, do what's going on around at the time of year. But on the day, everyone needs to know what's going on. So make sure the whole team know how the day is going to plan out. Because if you don't spread it to the rest of your team, it's just not going to work. And it's all about a team effort. And that's what I really push forward.
Excellent. And so that's kind of some tips to make it go smoothly. Are there any things from both, I guess, a practice side and Thomas from a marketing side that you should avoid doing when it comes to open days?
I think from a marketing perspective, because I know some practices have they do continuous cosmetic treatment campaigns, and then they want to push an open day. So I would say a good tip is to turn off the continuous one, because you don't want to confuse your audiences. Like, you're running an ad for a casual treatment, and then you got this specific open day, and you'd be spending money and throwing it down the toilet if you're going to be running 2 campaigns that are confusing the heck out of your audiences. So I would say a good tip would be turn off your continuous campaign just for the duration of you pushing your open day, and that way you probably attract a lot of the fence sitters who have been erring about whether to get their treatment done. Now they've got an event, and to be honest, I think if you got a good offer, that would really just nudge them off the fence.
Brilliant, that's a great tip. Claire, something from your side?
I don't really know. Things come up as we go along. I can't think of any one thing particularly. Think of anything that I would say, because as I say, each practice is different. So I can't think of anything not to do. I think you just need to be organised. If it's, as I say, if it's not organised, it's not going to work. And I think that's just the main thing. Everyone's got to be smart, and it's their first impressions, some of these patients. This is when it counts. So, if you've got loads of clutter around, I would clear the place out, make sure it's had a good clean. I mean, everything's spotless anyway in a dental practice, but sometimes you need to look at it from going in from a patient's point of view, and just put some of that stuff away. Don't leave it all out on the sides. But that's common sense as well. But, you get so oblivious to your surroundings sometimes, you don't see these things.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. I think a good cleanup is not clean up, but like a tidy up is probably good to make that best first impression. That's fantastic. So just finally, what would be your number one advice to anyone who is planning to host an open day?
Hire us, obviously.
Yeah, go to our website. Have a look at our packages, because we don't just offer one package. We've got several different things, and we've also got add-ons as well. So you can make your own personal package.
That is great. No, okay, so joking aside, really, I would say an open day, whether you're doing with or without a marketing assistance, right? And there's a lot of it's going to require a lot of energy, and if you're already working inside a busy, environment, and you don't have time to, breathe, planning an open day is not going to be your best bet. I would say that an open day is probably good for covering known periods of the year where you're quiet. But I would say when it comes to hosting an open day, with or without a marketing's support, I would say planning is so important. If you I'd rather you spend more time planning than marketing, simply because when you plan it perfectly, the marketing would have less margin for error, and you've already planned your processes for the day. The important thing is you're not rushing, you're not looking like you're flustered or you're looking disorganized. I would say when you plan so well, it's all about the patient experience. You want to give them the ultimate experience. You want to really make them literally bite your hand off with, so that's my tip. Planning is so essential.
Perfect. That's a great tip. And Claire?
I would say that having them regularly, but not regularly that people think, I'm going to hold off for that treatment until they have an open day and get it cheaper. So you need, what you learn from your first one, you can put into the next one, and it'll be even better the second time. So we could be brilliant. You can have a smash it out of the park the first time, but there will be little things that you'll pick up from that day that you can introduce the next time that you wouldn't do, or it worked or it didn't work. Patients will tell other people about that and how they got, so people will be waiting for you and say, I'm going to go along then. And, you've been along and said, they're brilliant. They were so funny. They were friendly. Go to them. I went to the open day, and even word of mouth just from the open day will help.
Mike, it's okay. I'll just quickly add to what Claire just said about once you get your first open day out of the way, what essentially an open day, if you hire a photographer, you can use those images for promoting your next campaign, whether it's an open day or continuous. Because you've got a photographer that's going to take some smashing photos and videos. Now you've got that to use for your next either event, or to use it for your marketing or even your social media. And also from a marketer's perspective, especially those who know how to run social media ads and Google, the data and analytics that you obtain during promoting your first open day, it doesn't disappear. Once once your open day finishes, that campaign is just basically turned off. So when you start your next campaign or you promote your next open day event, you can actually use that data. And remember, Facebook and Google have very intelligent AI, which then really self-optimizes. They'll actually be better when you market your next events and so forth. And once you keep doing that, you'll naturally want to host open events for regularly. I've seen some as like a monthly, not the same event. Like one month it's Invisalign, 1 month is implants, and the other is facial aesthetics. And can you see that when it comes to marketing, you're really just constantly fine tuning. So this is very encourageable.
Brilliant. Love that. Some fantastic tips. So I think that's a great place to wrap up. So, if I'm listening and I want to get in touch with you guys, what's the best way? I
would say visit our website. It's so easy to remember. It's just dentalopendays.com. So dentalopendays.com. What we do is we would love to invite you to a free discovery session where we just get a feel for each other and just really listen to what your ideas are and your intentions are. But if you feel that you can't fit in a consultation with us, what you do is you can download our information guide, which is a really condensed version of pretty much everything that we discussed in this podcast.
Perfect. That's brilliant. Right, guys, thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed learning more about what open days are and why they're great, and kind of what to do on them. So I didn't know as much as I did until now. I'll include all your contact details in the show notes, and I can't wait to have you both on the podcast again. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right.
Cheers.